the break for you? How are you feeling physically and mentally? We got to see you at practice today, and it looks like a bunch of the guys started off the day on a good note with some fun team bonding activities. How are you feeling ahead of your next match?
Great, very confident, and as well very grateful that finally the doors are open, fully in the stadium. So hopefully we can have a full stadium over here. We're going to play with the best team in the MLS so far, that it's Seattle, and I mean we're one of the top three too. So I mean it's going to be a great match with our people in our stadium. It's a great weather right now here in California. So I mean everything looks very nice and cool as well. So yeah, we just need to perform, to enjoy, to do what Greg told us to do inside the pitch, and hopefully we can get the 3 points, of course.
Good energy all around. And after last loss to Seattle, Coach talked about how he thought the attack didn't put enough pressure on their wide center backs. So how can you make adjustments with your guys' attack that might cause them to feel a little bit more pressure?
You'll see them in the game. I mean, we're gonna try to do our best. Look, yeah. Sorry, I mean, Greg speaks whatever he wants. He's the manager, he's the coach about tactics, and then I mean, we're gonna show our best. We're gonna try to do our best. Obviously, respecting like I told you, Seattle side. Sorry, but then yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be surprises or not, or tactics or not, we're gonna try to show them in the pitch on Saturday.
Okay, thanks, Javier.
Thank you.
On Saturday.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki. We'll go with Damian Calhoun from LA Daily News next. Damian, go ahead.
Hey, Javier, how you doing?
Very good. You?
Good. Hanging in there. Hey, the break came at a time when you guys were playing some pretty good soccer. Are you concerned that it sort of interrupted that good stretch you guys were on?
No, we're trying to look at it as the best way possible, right? Look the bright side of the situation. But yeah, sometimes these breaks, for example, there are going to be teams that they were struggling and this break helped them, and then there are going to be teams that they were in a good form and then this break could affect them. But it's up to us. It's up to us mentally, emotionally, that we can maintain that consistency that we show in the first 7 games we played, and hopefully we can prove that. We know that those 7 games were very tough away games that we lost 2 out of 3. Then in our home games we have traffic or very difficult games as well. So I mean, and now we're going to restart against Seattle, in our home. So I mean, it's going to be complicated, but yeah, I mean, we are thinking in the most positive and very confident way, and hopefully we can do our best and we can maintain that way that we play, and even better in the next games.
And for you personally, was it good just to get away from the game a little bit?
I mean, I think it's completely irrelevant if I say it good or bad, because it happened already. So we need to take the best out of the situation, and that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what we all trying to do. So I mean, the best thing was that we have rest. We, like Nikki said, we can bond even more in the chemistry with the team. We can train, we can prepare physically as well, and then we can have time for ourselves a little bit too. So I mean, let's try to get the bright side of the situations, because those situations are completely out of our control and out of our way of deciding. I mean, I think we need to always have the best interpretations of things.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Damian. We'll go with Gio Garcia with LA Soccer Hub next. Gio, go ahead.
Hey, Chicharito, hope you're doing well.
Thank you, you too.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
I want to ask you, Tune reported that you're going to be on the preliminary roster for the Mexican national team. I know you said you haven't closed the door. How does that feel, and when do you expect to go with the Mexican national team?
It's a pre-list. I mean, it's always an honor to be, like your name appears in any national team, even if it's a pre-list, but it's a pre-list. I mean, when I started my career, I was in a pre-list too of a Gold Cup, and I didn't go in the end, right? So I mean, still a long way to go. It's a pre-list. I'm happy, and then we'll see when the final list, if my name is going to be there, we can talk about that.
And if I could just add on to that, do you feel like obviously everything on the field you've proven, right, and to Tata and to everybody in MLS. Do you think with Tata there's something else that you guys may need to talk about outside of football?
I mean, I think it's in my whole career, what I learned from my grandfather, my father, and every time that I was in the national team is like you need to win your call-ups and be in the national team inside the pitch and try to do the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Gio. We'll go with the last question in English with Chris Maldonado. Chris, go ahead.
Javier, la magnitud del juego este sábado es más grande podemos decir, que algún otro juego que han tenido esta temporada. Do you have a special message, Javier, that you would like to send to the Galaxy fans, seeing as that this will be the first game where we will have full capacity in over a year?
The only message is like we are so happy that you can finally come back and support us. That's the only thing that it's in my mind, in my feelings, and as well, I think I can speak from the team that we are so happy that finally we were going to have that environment. Even though in the other games that we went, it felt like already like soccer with crowd, with fans. But now hopefully it can be a full capacity. It's going to be amazing that you all fans are going to be back with us.
Gracias.
De nada.
Ahora cambiaremos a las preguntas en español. Empezamos con Katia Castorena de ESPN. Katia, adelante.
Gracias, Vicky. Javier, gusto saludarte.
¿Qué onda, Katia?
Primero que nada, ¿cómo te ha servido la pausa en lo personal para recuperarte también en el lado físico y en general todo el grupo? Y la segunda, lo que platicabas, estar en la prelista de la selección mexicana. ¿Has hablado con Tata? ¿No has hablado con Tata? ¿Cómo va ese proceso? ¿Cómo te sientes al respecto de todo lo que se dice alrededor de tu regreso con la selección? Porque lo has demostrado, ¿no? Con este arranque con Galaxy.
Sí, primero bien obviamente con el parón para recuperarnos, como bien tú lo dijiste, físicamente, pero también sacándole todo el lado positivo. Es más tiempo en el cual podemos trabajar muchísimas cosas como equipo dentro y fuera del campo, toda esa química poderla mejorar y obviamente cada vez adaptarnos muchísimo mejor y más claro a las ideas que tiene Greg para nosotros. Y luego lo de la prelista, como lo mencioné en inglés, obviamente siempre es un honor el que tu nombre aparezca en cualquier lista o prelista en la selección, pero como bien lo dije, todavía es una prelista, creo que todavía falta mucho para ver y decidir que cuando llegue la lista definitiva, y cuando llegue la lista definitiva obviamente podremos hablar del tema si mi nombre aparece allí. Con el Tata no he hablado para nada.
Gracias, Katia. Vamos con Diana Alvarado de Univisión. Diana, adelante.
Gracias, Vicky. Javier, me da gusto saludarte.
Gracias.
Ya lo mencionaste en inglés, pero me gustaría que lo hagas en español. ¿Cómo te sientes con esta reapertura? ¿Volverás a reencontrarte con un estadio completo y lo haces en uno de tus mejores momentos?
Feliz de que el estadio por fin, como bien tú lo dices, en la misma pregunta está ahí la respuesta de que estamos contentos, felices, muy motivados de que por fin vamos a tener a más de nuestros fanáticos, de nuestra gente apoyándonos aquí en el estadio en un partido muy importante, y es algo extraordinario, muy bonito, y estamos muy contentos y agradecidos de que por fin llegó ese día.
Suerte.
Gracias.
Vamos con Yara Olvera de LA Times en español. Ya adelante.
Gracias, Vicky. ¿Cómo estás, Chicha?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien. Oye,
bueno.
El recién coronado campeón de Peso Mosca de UFC, Brandon Moreno, dijo haberse inspirado por tu frase de que hay que imaginarse cosas chingonas. ¿Cómo tomas tú eso, que serviste de inspiración para él? ¿Y te viste la pelea? ¿Cómo viviste tú este momento histórico para él?
Pues felicitarlo, obviamente, de que puso el nombre de México muy en alto y que es el primero en que gane un campeonato mundial en la UFC. Yo creo que es algo muy bonito ver a gente paisana romperla, sea en el deporte o en el trabajo o en el ámbito que sea. Siempre es algo muy inspirador, ¿no? Entonces, agradecerle también a él por poner el nombre de México en alto, que también todos nosotros los mexicanos lo admiramos y que le agradecemos todos de que sí se puede, ¿no? Cuando él bien lo dice, más allá si era mi frase o no es mi frase, como yo siempre lo dije, no es por tener crédito, no es algo que yo creo y que otro campeón te lo puede decir. Yo nada más lo mencioné en ese momento, pero lo puede mencionar él, lo puede mencionar otro tipo de gente, que claro, todo empieza en la cabeza. Obviamente que necesitas mucho trabajo, muchos precios por cuál pagar para poder llegar a cumplir tus sueños, porque no es nada fácil, nada en esta vida es fácil, pero obviamente todo empieza de que si lo puedes soñar, lo puedes lograr, claro que sí, hay que imaginarnos cosas chingonas.
¿Sí te viste la pelea en vivo?
No pude verla en vivo, pero obviamente después de que supe que fue campeón, obviamente vimos toda la repetición de la pelea, un poquito los highlights y luego también su entrevista tan conmovedora y tan motivacional cuando lo entrevistan acabando, cuando está ahí en el ring recibiendo el cinturón y todo. Yo creo que es algo muy inspirador y muy motivante.
Gracias.
De nada.
Gracias, Jack. Vamos con Daniel Schwartzman de TUDN. Daniel, adelante.
Gracias, Vicky. Hola, Javier, un saludo. Ahora
¿Qué
que comentaban de lo de la prelista, a pesar de que es apenas un primer paso, te quiero preguntar, Javier, ¿qué es lo que más te extraña de estar con selección? Si es representar a tu país, enfrentar a una selección internacional o los compañeros, ¿qué es lo que más te extraña, Javier?
No, todo. Yo creo que en general siempre es una experiencia muy bonita y como bien lo mencioné, siempre es un honor y un orgullo representar a la selección y yo creo que sería muy imprudente de mi parte nada más seleccionar una cosa. Yo creo que todo en general es algo muy bonito siempre cuando uno va a la selección.
Gracias.
De nada. Gracias.
Vamos con León Lecanda de ESPN. León, adelante.
Muchísimas gracias. Hola Javier, León Lecanda de ESPN.
Sí, buena, León.
Hace rato le contestabas a mi compañera Katia que no has tenido la oportunidad de hablar con Gerardo el Tata Martino. ¿Sientes que tienes que hacerlo, que de repente debe existir ese acercamiento, que hay cosas entre ustedes que tienen que ser habladas, cosas que quizás sucedieron en tus convocatorias anteriores y por lo cual tienes pues ya casi 2 años sin ir a la selección?
León, creo que sería muy arrogante y muy imprudente de mi parte el como yo tomarme porque quiero de verdad dejar ese mensaje, como yo tomar el lugar de como exigir o hablar o pedir una convocatoria. Creo que todo está muy claro. Él es el líder, él es el jefe, él es el que decide por cualquier X, Z o Y razón. Entonces creo que sería muy imprudente y arrogante el hablar, ¿sabes? Yo creo que a veces las interpretaciones que le damos todos nosotros a qué es arrogancia y qué no es, a veces las tenemos... no sé cómo decirlo, como muy malinterpretadas, si se puede decir, porque, oye, yo desde que me acuerdo cuando Javier Aguirre me brindó la oportunidad, yo nunca le marqué porque era la joven revelación de la selección para decirle, oye, aquí estoy, llévame al Mundial, y luego el Chepo, y luego Luis Fernando Tena, y luego Bucetich, y luego te puedo mencionar todos los directores de la selección. También, por ejemplo, cuando llegó lo de Miguel Herrera, que no nos llamó a los europeos en ese momento, tampoco era como que, ¿por qué yo le voy a hablar a decirle, oye, Miguel, ¿qué está pasando? ¿Por qué no me marca? ¿Por qué no me llamas? O algo. Yo creo que hay que ser completamente ecuánimes en ese aspecto. Y siempre lo he mencionado, aquí yo estoy feliz y contento de hacer lo que hago. Obviamente siempre es un honor y un placer el poder representar a la selección, pero también si no se da, oye, estoy viviendo una etapa completamente feliz, plena también aquí donde estoy. Entonces hay que dejar que sucedan las situaciones y después hablaremos de ello. Obviamente yo creo que en mi país es algo que nos encanta muchísimo, el siempre estar suponiendo y el siempre estar hablando de a veces cosas que sucedieron, que no sucedieron, que si pasaron, que si no pasaron, que si qué sería lo mejor, que si no será lo mejor. Espero que en algún momento la selección, yo pueda estar incluido o yo no pueda estar incluido, pueda lograr ahora sí, no sé, más allá del 5º partido, llegar hasta lo más lejos, ser campeón del mundo, para que por primera vez podamos hablar de un éxito rotundo de nuestra selección y no nada más en suposiciones, ¿no? O en ideas que a veces yo creo que afectan más que ayudar más a un entorno de la selección. Entonces, creo que todo está muy claro. Yo voy a seguir trabajando, hacerlo de lo mejor y ya que sucedan algunas cosas podremos hablar de ellos, de esos temas, obviamente, pero cuando sucedan. Ahorita es una prelista y bueno, pues no hay una lista definitiva.
Hey, Greg. Looking forward to Saturday. Are all the guys back and in good health? What's the injury report if we need to know anything?
Yeah, generally good. Jonah is just working through his return to play. He's building into training this week, so I still put him on questionable, but we're hopeful that he can be involved. Just don't know for sure yet. Everybody else is healthy, involved, ready to go.
And it was our opportunity to kind of check out practice for the first time today. We saw the day begin with some fun team bonding activities. Kind of reminded me of AYSO days. Is that how you guys start off every practice, or is that something that's kind of like, hey, let's reset the tone after we've all been away for 3 weeks?
No, it's not every day, but some days when we try to get them through some cognitive preparation, they do some games that are a little more engaging in that way, not necessarily so serious. From my experiences as a former pro player, the worst part of the game is having to warm up all the time. So sometimes you just got to make it more interesting and get guys engaged in different ways. Once you guys left, it actually started to get real serious and real fast because we started to get into more preparation stuff. But sometimes just to bring the energy into it, the sports science group, and make it more engaging. They play some games and they're competitive, and the guys get going, and so it was fun for them to get going for sure today.
It looked a lot of fun. And one more tactical question here for you.
Sure.
Against San Jose, it looked like you played Efrain up with Kevin quite a bit in order to assist Javier on the attack. Did you feel that Javier was dropping back a little bit more than you would have liked to maybe capitalize on some of those opportunities? Or what do you like about having Kevin and Efrain up with him?
Yeah, I think with San Jose, they're kind of a unique team to play because of the man marking, and it's very with them. It's because players tend to follow players everywhere. You can start to create numerical situations that you can really see clearly, and so for us pushing some players higher made it really clear for our center backs what the build situation looked like for starting attacks, and so invariably that meant that guys were a lot closer together. And then the question was, once we solved that problem, how are we going to actually create and finish our attacks? And so there were different movements, some of which had Javier coming off, others where other guys were going high or running through the lines. To be fair, I was pleased with a lot of it. I just felt like in that final moment, especially in the first half, we should have taken a couple more goals out of it. And with that, then the opposition has to adjust the way they're playing. Things might loosen up a little bit more. More chances might come out of it. And I thought for the way we played in the first half, we allowed them to be in the game a little bit too long, which made it difficult at the end. And we had to manage the final stretch. So, but in general, getting guys closer together and higher up the field together is certainly an objective of ours, so that we have more players involved in the final action and enough players involved in the final action when we get into the box and we get to the end line, things like that.
Great, thank you. See you on Saturday.
Yep, thank you.
We'll go with Damian Calhoun next. Damian, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Good, Damian. Thanks.
Yeah, it did seem like the guys were having a lot of fun out there this morning. Also, with the break coming at the time that it did, and then with guys taking off for national team duty, you concerned about having to sort of like restart things again this week, heading to Seattle?
Yeah, I think it's a long break, so the start of games is going to be important when you come off of this long break, and making sure that there's some diligence and security at the start of the game, getting the guys back into it. Both teams are dealing with similar issues. We, through the course of our build up to this, we tried to add in some 11v11, some competitive moments just to try to keep the rhythm of things. But nothing is like playing, and nothing is like playing with your stadium being close to or full again, which we haven't seen in a long time. So my estimation here is that the guys are going to be very excited to be back in front of the energy that's going to be in the stadium, and that's going to have them kind of amped up. So it's just important, again, that we play smart at the beginning. We don't get too many numbers going high. We don't get too drawn into the game, that we have to play with discipline, and we have to play a smart game against a very good team. And so, I think the energy is going to be there. I think the concentration is going to be there. I think it's just going to be about us being disciplined about what we're trying to do.
And are Augie and Carlos the only two internationals that haven't returned yet?
Correct.
Okay. When do you expect them in this week, or?
Hopefully, yes. Once they get through their games, barring any issues, passport or otherwise, they should be able to get back. No guarantees there. So.
All right, thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
We'll go with Larry Morgan with Corner of the Galaxy next. Larry, go ahead.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for speaking with us.
Hi, Larry. Thank you.
I wonder if you could talk about your next opponent, the Sounders. Can you talk about some of the things which make that team such a formidable foe?
Yeah, I think, for me, one of them is it's a mature group of players who have played a lot of big games, played together a lot. They make more mature decisions. They don't usually make many little mistakes that cost them. They're capable of, when they're absorbing pressure. They're capable of absorbing those moments, not giving up goals, getting something on their counterattack, and all of a sudden the game looks completely different than it did just a few minutes ago, you know. And so, in addition to that, they have quality that they don't need a ton of chances sometimes to make you pay. They have quality, and I think, you know, especially the way they're playing this year, they're hard to break down. They haven't given up many goals. They've got a lot of presence on the back line and in front of their goal with those three center backs. They have athleticism in the back line and physicality. It's a group that when I look at them, I see maturity in their group. And so you have to go beat them. They're not going to beat themselves because of that. And that puts a lot of onus on us or the teams that play them to have to play well and to have to really to earn the win, and that's the way they've been for the last several years, you know, and so you have to give credit to Schmetzer and their crew and the way they've organized them, but also the group that they've put together, and it's a very, like I said, a very just a mature team that's been through a lot of very difficult games together, and they know how to manage games, and then they have the quality to win games. So that's why I think they're, you know, right now they're one of the teams that have to be in that we are going to have to get through to have any chance of being a championship contender. It's those types of mature teams that we're going to have to be able to face and beat to get there.
Thank you.
Yep.
We'll go with Sophie Nicolau next.
Hey Coach, how you doing? Hope you're well.
Hi, Sophie.
Just wondered what it feels like for you as a coach in the time where there's these international breaks, how you can sustain the momentum, what kinds of contact you have with players. I think fans want to be a fly on the wall to kind of figure out how you can continue that and what you do as a coach to sustain the connection with the team and also prepare for a massive game against one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, you know, for us it's a balance between trying to give the guys enough rest because the window is so big now with this, you know, 3 matches, 3 international dates inside of it, and who knows how many games for different teams. But there's a balance between trying to give our guys some rest, knowing that, you know, what I would say are the kind of the dog days of MLS summers are right in front of us, where the games start to come fast and the weather is a lot warmer and everything is the challenges of the summer MLS window are upon us, or the season. So there's a balance between that and then working on things that I think are just, you know, about us and about our individual players, trying to keep the group moving forward. With, you know, a match and an opponent being 3 weeks away, especially at the start of this, the guys aren't really focused on Seattle in the first week and a half to 2 weeks. They're more focused on ourselves and them individually and our relationships on the field, but them improving upon things, you know, that they want to work on. And as we start to get closer, then we start to talk more about Seattle, more about our approach to this match, and also understanding that we have 3 matches in 7 days as we return back and trying to prepare for all 3 matches, because we'll have very little training time as these games go from one to the other now. And so physical preparation, all that stuff. For me, there's plenty of things to keep me engaged. It's really just trying to keep the players engaged and trying to keep them focused on the right things at the right times. And now specifically on Seattle as we approach the match against them. And they're a unique team. We don't play a lot of teams who play, you know, a back 3 and for sure teams that have the quality that they have in the transition, but also just their wing backs, the way they get out and get forward on a consistent basis. There's things here that we took our time to prepare for this match as well.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
How you're feeling kind of mentally and physically as you're about to prepare for the gauntlet. You know, Greg just was talking about the dog days of MLS summers being ahead. So
Yeah.
How do you make such a quick pivot?
Yeah, no, it's obviously an amazing trip with the national team, you know, from the start of it to the finish. You know, a lot of lessons learned, and, you know, to get my first trophy on the international level was definitely an accomplishment that, you know, I'll cherish. And then now, yeah, like you said, pivoting to a tough stage. You know, I mean, I've done this a couple times now, and yeah, the summer is always one of the toughest. You know, traveling away to places where it's going to be hot and playing against good teams. So
El clima es cálido.
Hello?
Punto y seguido.
Are we good?
Sorry, I think someone was unmuted.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. But yeah, as I was saying, facing good teams like we are this weekend, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be our first 3 games in a week. So it's, we definitely had to come back and kind of switch on right away, because if you don't, you can get caught slipping. So, but no, I accepted the challenge and I'm ready. I'm ready to go again.
And you've talked about making this transition a couple of times before, but was there something different about returning to play with this locker room and this group of guys that maybe you were looking forward to a little bit more, or you felt maybe energy and vibe-wise was a little bit more positive?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think as soon as my time with the national team was done, it wasn't like, oh, I got to go back and I was kind of like, all right, let's go. Like, I'm ready to go again. I'm full of energy and especially with this type of locker room and this type of staff. This year, as we've shown, I know it's still only the beginning, but it's been a completely different energy around here. So I've been loving it. So yeah, as soon as I got back, I was really excited.
Wonderful. Thanks, Sebastian.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks, Nikki.
We'll go with Damian Calhoun from LA Daily News next. Damian, go ahead.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, Sebastian, how you doing?
Hey, Damien, what's up, man?
Good. Okay, I'm good. Hey, just want to get your thoughts on first home game, capacity crowd, and Greg said he expect guys to be, just ready to go at the start of the game. Right. What kind of emotions you think you have at kickoff?
Oh, I think it's going to be awesome. I totally forgot about that. Like, it's going to be full capacity. It's, having everybody in there. I think it's going to be a sellout crowd. I'm sure everybody's excited just to be all together again and feel that energy. I think it's going to be contagious. I think as soon as we step out on the field and warm-ups, I think we're definitely going to feel it. And, it's just an exciting time, right? Everybody's had a really struggling year and a half as far as COVID, so kind of getting over that hump, and hopefully we can give our fans a win.
And also, as you prepare for this grind, and also with Gold Cup coming up, how do you sort of get yourself prepared mentally and physically for, we expect to be a very busy June and July for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be physically taxing for sure. But I think just taking it one step at a time, like, it's the only real way or efficient way of getting through it. So just weekend by weekend. I know this is gonna be a tough week in itself, but just kind of breaking things day by day, and just not. That's how you don't get too overwhelmed with it. So whenever that Gold Cup comes or whenever that, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, it's just Seattle on Saturday. So.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Damien.
We'll go with Larry Morgan with Corner of the Galaxy. Larry, go ahead.
Hi, Sebastian. Thanks for speaking with us. I'd like to add on to what Damien asked you about the national team and what is shaping up to be an extremely busy year for you with the Galaxy and the national team. Is there any concern on your part about the toll it might take on you physically and mentally with all these matches that you potentially
it's never going to be easy, right? I think going into this year, I think I focus more on the exciting part of it. There's so many big games, so many things, brand new staff here. A lot of big games come up with the national team. But yeah, of course it's going to be physically, but taxing. But I think it's up to me to take care of myself and do everything I can physically and mentally to kind of just be in a good place for both. And like I said, just kind of compartmentalizing and taking things in my stride and just breaking things up and just not getting so overwhelmed with it, because it's going to be a lot, but just gotta take it day by day.
And if you do play in all these matches, have you tried to estimate how many miles you might be traveling this year?
That's a good one. I hope I get the miles for them, because that'll be. I know we travel private for most of them, but yeah. It's gonna be crazy, right? But this is what it's all about. You want to be in as many games as possible as a professional, and so I'm excited about it more than anything.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Ahora vamos con las preguntas en español. Empezamos con Diana Alvarado de Univisión. Diana, adelante.
Gracias, Gaby. Sebastián, un gusto saludarte.
Hola.
Felicitaciones por el título de la Liga de Naciones.
Gracias.
Con Javier Chicharito Hernandez ahí, ¿qué tan peligroso va a ser el tricolor si se lo encontraran y si Chicharito quedara en la lista final del tricolor mexicano?
Sí, no, bueno, ha empezado la temporada muy bien. Estoy muy feliz por él. Sabemos que es un gran jugador, un gran número 9 y lo está mostrando para este club. Y bueno, ojalá que lo llamen, ¿no? Que para mí se lo merece. Entonces, bueno, él ha mostrado en los años, creo que es el goleador de México. Entonces, a ver si el Tata lo llama, pero bueno, ese no es mi trabajo, suerte, pero ahí vemos.
Bueno, por supuesto te gustaría enfrentarle, ¿no?
Sí, sí, no, a mí me encanta enfrentar casi enfrenté en contra Jonah, pero no jugué ese partido por lesión, pero sí, a mí me encanta, ojalá que esté ahí, ojalá, y una final también.
Claro, y finalmente, ¿qué significa volver a reencontrarse con esa afición, con un estadio totalmente lleno, a pesar de que todavía estamos en la pandemia?
Sí, no, realmente va a estar muy lindo, muy emocional ver todos unidos de nuevo. Sabemos que es un año y medio muy difícil para muchos y para el club y para la familia del Galaxy, entonces va a ser muy lindo jugar en frente de la afición de nuevo.
Suerte, gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias, Diana. Vamos con Salvador Pérez. Salvador, adelante.
Muchísimas gracias, Vicky. Sebastián, ¿cómo estás?
Hola.
Qué gusto saludarte.
Hola, igual.
Salvador, qué gusto verte. Oye, Sebastián, yo quisiera hacerte dos preguntas, si me permites. La primera, hoy cómo se sienten en LA Galaxy en el sentido de los diferentes cambios que ha habido y que los han llevado a estar en los primeros lugares? Hoy cómo se han sentido con el tema de Vanney, con el tema de esa mejoría que ha tenido Javier. Hoy cómo se han sentido. Y la segunda, después de lo que fue el título de Liga de Naciones de la CONCACAF, de la Liga de Naciones de la CONCACAF que ganan a México, hoy cómo cambia esa rivalidad con México y si hay una superioridad, si se siente mejor que el Tri a nivel selección de cara a lo que hace el Copa Oro. Gracias, Sebastián.
Bueno, voy a empezar con la segunda. Bueno, sabemos que sí, ganamos un partido muy difícil, una final, levantamos una copa, estoy muy feliz por eso, pero sabemos que México es un gran equipo, tiene un gran técnico, juegan muy bien, tienen mucha experiencia. Nosotros, más que nada, somos jóvenes y hay muchos jóvenes en nuestro equipo, entonces es difícil decir que ya somos mejores. Era un partido muy cerca, se ganó entre los penales realmente, cada uno tuvo su oportunidad y bueno, fue uno de esos partidos, entonces no creo que es decisivo decir que somos mejores todavía. Yo creo que los faltamos un poco, pero vamos a tener más oportunidades para mostrar. Y eso para mí es lo más importante, y con más partidos vamos a ganar más experiencia todavía. Y perdóname si me olvidé la primera pregunta.
Te preguntaba del tema de LA Galaxy, del tema deportivo, que hoy están en los primeros puestos. ¿Qué tanto ha cambiado en ese sentido con el tema de Greg, con el tema de esa mejoría que ha tenido Javier, sí, con el nivel que han mostrado?
Sí, no, bueno, sí, es diferente que el año pasado, ¿no? O los años que han pasado. Es una nueva energía acá y yo sé que muchos jugadores, por ahí ustedes han escuchado eso mucho, pero es la realidad, que realmente se siente muy bien en este club ahora, los entrenamientos, hasta todo. Realmente los técnicos, me encantan todo ahora. Y bueno, cuando regresé de la selección no era como, tengo que regresar, era como, yo no puedo esperar, ahora quiero regresar y empezar a jugar de nuevo. Entonces es diferente. Y bueno, el tema de Chicha, está jugando muy bien, estoy muy feliz por él, tiene una calidad increíble en frente de gol y lo está mostrando.
Muchas gracias por tu tiempo.
Okay. Thank you. Gracias.